All right, we back at the Harbor Waterfront Productions, Baltimore by Baltimore's We Need Answers podcast. Got my guy D. Watkins here, world-renowned author, amongst other things. We're going to chop it up like we do with everybody about the city, about everything going on, and how we can make this harbor thing better. So, you can introduce yourself?
Hey, my name's D. Watkins, and I'm so thankful for being on here. Heard a couple of your episodes before. Definitely heard the one with my brother Devin, so I'm happy to be in the chair.
Long overdue. We doing quick ones here, but we definitely got an hour long when we got to catch up with. So for the people who don't know, you give us a little background about you real quick.
I'm from East Baltimore. Sitting here with my 3-year-old Cross. She's been a bit of a production. Been a college professor for like 11 years. I wrote 7 books, a couple of TV shows, a couple of films. Some were made. Some was going into production before we went on writer's strike. And I try my best to just be like a good person, a big brother and a mentor, especially the people who trying to find their footing after they come home, or people who trying to get into the art world because it's worse than the streets.
Right. How you feel about the writer's strike since you brought that up?
I think it's a good thing because at the end of the day, there's no industry, there's no commercials, there's no films, there's no, did you see such and such last night?
Yeah.
There's none of that without us. Like people talking about this whole idea of like AI and some studios even tried it. Yeah. And it's impressive what they can do. Yeah. AI can't capture cultural nuance. You know what I'm saying?
Like not the realness.
How we talk and communicate and move, it literally changes so quick that somebody will have to be hip to it and then put it on the internet somewhere so the artificial intelligence can pour from it. Right. So we fighting for better wages. We're not getting paid what we should be getting paid off of streaming services. So like back in the day, you write an HBO show, people watch it on demand, or people watch it on on demand from their service provider, then the writer would get a royalty. When these streaming services came out, you're not gonna watch my show on cable, you're gonna watch it from an app on your phone, and we're not eating off of that, and we should be. Right,
for sure. I definitely understand that. And that's been going on for some time now, right?
It's going on for a minute.
Damn, that's what's up. So what is the difference in your perspective from writing a show and writing a book? Because I know you did, just for example, We Own the City, you wrote on that, and you wrote with Carmelo with his book, right? So what's the difference in perspective on that?
So books are fun to me because it's less people with their hands in the pot. Okay. So that book was literally just me and Mello laughing, joking, and fussing for like a couple of months straight before I took all the transcripts and put it together. Whereas a television show, you can write the best show of your life, but it's still like this takes 3,000 people to make a project. Many people. Like it's like if somebody plays in the show and they'd be like, such and such can't act, that movie bullshit. It's like, so many people are good at their jobs, but this one person or this one name can distract from that. So I do like the collaborative aspect of it, but I don't necessarily always like how shows and films are judged. You know what I mean? But it's easier to write a script than it is to write a book. You can write a script while I'm walking down the street smoking a blunt. I can literally be writing a script because it almost takes like no thought. It's conversation, emotional beat. Conversation, emotional beat. Conversation, emotional beat. Whereas when you're writing a book, it's a lot of analysis. It's a lot of auditing. It's a lot of reflection. It's a lot of presenting arguments and then breaking those arguments down so they can say what they supposed to be.
Got you, totally. So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. You be on your fly shit. I've been peeped your page. I see you. You keep all the kicks, all the clothes. You be on your shit. So how would you describe? Would you describe your style as Baltimore, or is it just you?
It's 100% Baltimore. It's like,
so describe Baltimore style for me.
Baltimore style is a Prada shirt and a pair of New Balance. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I think that I think we originated the idea of making so-called luxury items as everyday pieces of apparel, and I think people paid attention. And I think like when you having them conversations with people like the different cultures, it'd be funny because it's like everybody wants to take credit for everything, which is love. You love your city, then you should fight for your city. But I was like, I'm laughing because I remember a video that was on the internet a long time ago that was circulating where Chino and Scola was in LA.
The trees. When they talked about the trees touching skies out here. So.
They had on some Balmains, but they had like New Balance on with their Balmains.
Okay,
and Meek was like, yo, Baltimore niggas is crazy. And it's like, nah, because if you fast forward, this is what people do now. So we not crazy, we wildly progressive.
We don't dress off the mannequin too much.
Nah,
we put it together our own way.
We put it together.
Yeah, I like that 100%. So I'm gonna tap in the Baltimore question. So the question I've been asking everybody, what's your favorite restaurant in Baltimore and your favorite Baltimore dish?
That's a good question.
I know you connected to a lot of people, so I don't want, but I want the real deal from you.
It's all good. It's my favorite restaurant.
It could be now or growing up.
Growing up, damn, it's fucked up because I've been drinking Angie cups from Moe's since I was in middle school, right? Yeah, it's not even Angie's no more, but I think my favorite restaurant right now is probably Alma Cocina.
That's what he was just talking about.
It's probably my favorite restaurant right now. I eat there the most. But some of my favorite dishes come from Poppy Cuisine, but I can't eat it all of the time because, you know, it's so good. And like I know I throw on 50 pounds real quick, so I got slow walk it.
That's the second. Somebody else said both of them questions. Two different people said both of them answers you just said. Your favorite dish is what? What was it?
My favorite
Baltimore dish.
My favorite Baltimore dish is. It's going to be a crab cake. Okay. But what I like about Poppy Cuisine so much is that they do so much stuff. Yeah. They do so much stuff with it, like the crab egg rolls and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I like that too. What do you feel like Baltimore can do with the harbor to make it better for the city?
Cater to the residents.
Okay.
Put the shops and the stores and the things that represent our demographic down here.
Okay.
Sell the things that we need, and it shouldn't even just be about business. Yeah. It should also be about how we developing our young people to be in a better position than we have. Like, what if you ran a podcast lab down here where you filmed your podcast, but you had a bunch of high school students working as like getting as paid young people, learning the craft, learning the business,
and stuff like
you
that.
know. But then the film side of it, this literally should be like a hub for like artists and young people surrounded by a place that sell, you know, because everybody can't jump on the internet and order clothes all the time. Like, you know, so you know, there should be like boutique shops like down here to fit the aesthetic. Some of the Baltimore fashions. Like what Huey Brand do, and like what Dovell off tour and what they do, but at the same time, some of the other the Nike stuff that we into or the luxury stuff we might be into, we should have that. That should be here because Mondawmin Mall used to be the #1 cash mall in the country. And people don't really don't know that. Like when it comes to stuff, we gonna spend it. Like we saved the Air Force One. They was in the heyday, Charlie Rudos and them, they was Cinderellas. They was selling tens of thousands of pairs of Air Force Ones. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
That's a fact.
So we'll do it. We'll put it together.
Yeah, for sure. And I totally agree with all that. Anything authentic, because everybody out of town going to come here. They want to come to the harbor. They think this is where it's to come, so why not give them what they're looking for?
It could be an experiment to do something that has never been done before, though. Because while you could be doing podcasts in this space, I could be 2 doors down doing something with writing or filmmaking. And then we could collaborate on the project. So now it's a hub where you like, yo, I'm like, yo, I really want to do like a podcast. Like I hosted a podcast based on one of the TV shows I did, right?
We on the city, right?
We on the city joint. And like, it could be like, yo, I got this show coming to town. Maybe you produce the podcast and you host it, and we put some shit together.
Work as a team.
And now we in each other's space and we making money. You understand what I'm saying?
It's a factory,
but it's like I don't know why sometimes, like, and you know, no disrespect to any politician or policymaker, but y'all just implement the dumbest shit. You jump up to do some dumb shit. You know what I mean? We're gonna make a junior police academy down here. It's like, nigga, what?
Like, we need stuff that matters.
Read the room, nigga.
For real. This serious. Read the room and listen to the people that's gonna make a difference.
Read the room.
That's all it takes. 2 more questions. What's your favorite moment or time growing up now in life or adolescence in the city? Like when you think back, like, I love this period of time when this was happening, or this experience, this event I went to.
Yo, it was this dude named Lil Nat from East Baltimore. He had this move he did on the dirt bike called the peace sign. Where he would like stand up and do a peace sign. And one day, I never even used to be around Green Mountain 21st Street like ever, and not from down the hill, but I never ever used to, and I just happened to be like like the people say I be lying and shit, but I really was over my homegirl. We was really doing homework. Like, you know how people be like, I'm gonna go over my girl house and do homework. Like, we really was doing homework and shit. And we really sitting on the front. He came by and did that shit, and I like seen so many people like this like before when the kid Mousy and light skin Fred, all them coming on dirt bike tip. I seen so many people like even doing that move or trying to do that move, and it felt like something special. Like I felt like in my mind at that young age, I'm like, yo, that's why I love Brittany and B360 what they do so much, because at that young age, bro, I was like, yo, somebody should be paying for this. They should be paid for this.
Yeah, sure, 100%. Last question: what does Baltimore mean to you? What does Baltimore mean to you?
One word, simply, it's just home. Okay. It's home. Like, yo, the people who book me to like do like talks and shit, like my agent, and I got an agent that booked me for the bookings, but then I got one, my own personal one that's like the liaison. They always be like, yo, why do this nigga always, and this is even before I had a kid, why he always gotta come home the same day or the next day? Like, they will really have me in situations where I be gone for like 3 months at a time, and I'm like, nah, look at this window right here, I'm really not doing nothing. Send me home, and they gotta do it because that's their job for real.
Gotcha. All right, well, that's until next time. We gonna have this hour-long sit down.
Yo, you got my number the same.
For sure, we gonna tap in for sure. And I appreciate you.
No problem.
Till next time.